Okay. This one here is from Brett Shepard. He says, come on, you know the World Series is going to be boring.
Home run derby, boring. No. Now I don't know if it's going to be an artistic success. I don't know that we're going to have 2-1 pitchers duels. But when you got guys who can go yard any time in the game, especially at Minute Maid Park and Citizens Bank Park, balls are going to be flying out of there. I think it's going to be a cool World Series. I know it's not the Yankees and Dodgers, and I know historically everybody likes big market baseball and hates the enemy and all that, but I think this is really going to be a fun World Series just because both of them got big bats.
Yeah, I mean, the Houston Astros are sort of like the villain, right?
Oh, you think?
Yeah, you think. And then the Phillies, they're like the all-American team where the nation was born in Philadelphia. And you've got all these big stars on offense and on the pitching mound. I mean, this is going to be, I think, a great World Series. I'm looking forward to it.
And it's a historic footnote. This might be the first Christmas in Philadelphia. Those fans don't boo Santa Claus.
I don't know. They're that's a brutal fan base up there.
Next question. We got another good one coming here.
All right. Well, this is just some commentary here from Mike O'Connor. I'll let you read that one.
From Baja to the Canadian Rockies. You're damn right. It's people ask me, where did I come up with that phrase? Because that was the first thing that came out of my mouth when I became the afternoon drive sports anchor at the original great sports station, Extra Sports 690. Well, the mini story is I was coming across the country, driving from Cleveland to Phoenix. And then obviously when I was moving from Phoenix to San Diego to be the voice of the Chargers. And I was the first guy they hired to do sports talk on what would evolve into the legendary station. As I was driving, I was trying to think, how can I package my show? And my show has always been about data and information and late breaking stories and newsmaker line guests. But there's always slug lines that I used to use. I said, I need to come up with something. And then it dawned on me. Extra 690, 77,000 watts based out of Mexico, Mexican license. Blowtorch signal up and down the West Coast. You can hear us at night everywhere. I said, I got to come up with something. And bingo, light bulb went on. From Baja to the Canadian Rockies.
Yeah.
And that's true because I have listened to the station in the Pacific Northwest at night. And I have friends that listen to me in White Rock, British Columbia, which is east of Vancouver. So signal goes everywhere. So that's where Baja to the Canadian Rockies came from.
Yeah, I love that. It's just a classic line. So, and people love you for it. So, which just makes it a lot of fun. So, here's a follow-up, actually similar comment here from SI. He says, wow, commentary, fact-based instead of feeling opinion-based. What a revelation.
You are correct. We are bleeping brilliant here on this podcast. My favorite philosophy was ask a question, get an answer. Don't like the answer, too bad for you, but here's the information and here's the data. And I love doing sports talk. I miss it. Wish I was still doing it. So it's got to be the correct set of circumstances to do it. But I'll tell you what, this guy found me and said, we ought to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And look at what we've done. And by the way, speaking of World Series, we're hitting a home run with this podcast in terms of the number of people that are tracking us, watching us, listening to us, and passing the information on. So I appreciate all the support.
Yeah, all good, Lee. And here's a comment from Ralph Lopez. He goes, NFL trades. I mean, there's a bunch of things that are going on in the NFL. It's not just McCaffrey.
Ralph, thank you. That's a real vibrant question to ask. The NFL's changed. I think it's maybe the new breed of general managers that have now moved into NFL decision-making jobs, just like the new breed of general managers in Major League Baseball have changed the landscape of that game. We now have guys that are unafraid to make deals. And I think the whole philosophy is, new general manager, I didn't draft you. I didn't sign you to that mega contract. If I don't think you can play, I will move you and get guys that I think can play or currency draft picks that I can use to go get the kind of guy that I want. I think just that the general manager of this day are a new breed, and I think that's why the NFL's changed. And by the way, Ralph, the NFL trade deadline is November 1, and they moved it way up because they didn't want in the NFL what's happened to baseball and what's happened to the NBA, tanking. And that's they don't want teams tanking right before the playoffs or in the playoff run. And that's another topic for another day. But trading deadline is November 1st. And obviously, teams are no longer afraid to deal away draft picks. Maybe that's got to do with the big salary cap that most clubs have access to. If I trade all these picks, that's okay because I got expiring contracts and I'll have a huge amount of salary cap money to go get free agents to fill in what I might be losing with the draft picks. But Ralph, thank you for the question.